Howdy, class. I wanted to share a sleek little implementation of the dot split method that the book talks about in chapter 2. And this sleek implementation is how to obtain input from a single line of input in the console and then have that separated properly into the right variables. So, we know in Python that if we need to get, user input, we just simply ask them to enter the data for variable A and then B and then C and then D. But often it's just more convenient for console input to be entered all in one line and just separate them by spaces. Now we can do that in Python. Python will let us use the space character as a delimiter and then recognize anything that's not a space as characters that need to be collected and then stored, converted, and then stored properly. So here's some code that does just that. Here you can see that I've got a prompt going to the user saying, okay, please enter 4 integers separated by spaces. So we will call the input method for that, and then simply assign those to the 4 variables A, B, C, and D. Now, the value in this is really realized by at the end here using the dot split method. So that is going to take this entire string of input, look for the spaces, and separate out the content divided by the spaces, and then finally do those assignments. The first chunk of content gets assigned to the variable A, and then B, C, and D, and so on. So you can see here that when we run this, I'm going to let me zoom in a little bit on the console so we can get better viewing. Let me enter. Oops. Let me enter some random things here. And those are, in fact, our 4 ints separated by spaces. Then when we hit return, you can see that we got those output. But what's interesting is that the output here is not just a string with what the input is. The output are the 4 individual variables that we created, and then through an assignment statement populated with the tokens from the split method. So printing A, B, C, and D there gives us that. So this is a cool, I'll call it another Grinchy little trick on how to get console input separated by spaces and then get those properly assigned to the right variables.